All right, hey, this is Old Gaming Guru. Today we're going to start a new series, and this is going to be about how to improve the quality of the graphics in your Fallout 4 game. Really, really simple concept that can get very complex, and if you're not careful, it can slow your game down to a crawl. And so today I just want to talk about things that I do and things that I've experienced when I've tried out a number of different graphics upgrades in Fallout 4. And so if you've got a little bit older computer like I do with a 2070 Super graphics card and not the world's most blazing CPU, how do you increase graphics performance and loading times while still maintaining the integrity of the game, and also is enjoying the game more because the graphics then are brought more up to modern standards. But how do you do this without basically bollocksing up your game so that it takes 3 minutes to load? And I've been there, 3 to 5 minutes to load a screen when you go into a building. So I'm going to do kind of a little bit more in-depth analysis of different mods and what it will do for you in terms of your graphics output. So the first thing I want to tell you is that I started last week on this video series with a complete wipe, and we are now down to the base Fallout 4. So I have no mods, and these are the mods I have to choose from. I have no mods at all installed, and my profile here on Vortex is completely mod free. All right, so in fact, it's even telling me right now I don't have F4SE installed, so I've got nothing to really do except for the base game. And to help us here today, I'm going to bring up a stopwatch. And sorry it takes so much of my screen, but anyways, this is what the choices I've got. I am now going to launch base game, and let's see how long it takes to launch the base. And this is going to be our baseline for everything that we do. How long does it take to load? And so right now, I'm going to go ahead and launch Fallout 4. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to launch it with different mods. I'm going to see the performance. How fast does it take to load the game? How fast does it take for me to move around? All that kind of good stuff from the beginning of the game, and what difference does it make in terms of graphics. So let's go ahead right now and launch Fallout 4, and this will be our baseline. And while we're doing that, let's start the stopwatch. And you look at that, boom, pops right up. I have got no enhanced graphics whatsoever. And I am to this screen. I am in... I shouldn't have a load. Oh, somehow, there we go. I've got a load. And... oh, I forgot I moved my save folder over. Let's go ahead and load this. I'm 4 hours into the game right now. And let's take a look at what this gives me. And you can see I installed all these mods. And off we go into the game. Okay. So right now, I am in the bunker outside of Sanctuary. And you can see here, I can go pick all this up, but let's test how long it takes me to load to this next screen. So this is one of the things that will drive you nuts. If you put too much graphic output into your Fallout game, your load screens from you to go from an interior location to the exterior can become really, really long. All right, so we're done there. And let's go ahead and bring up our stopwatch and stop it. 1 minute, 27 seconds right now. It took me to get back into the real world of Fallout. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my game. And this is what my graphic output looks like. And I wish I had done this during the daytime, but you get an idea here. Okay, so this is just basic Fallout 4. There we go. All right, so I'm going to go ahead now and add some graphics in. And first we're going to stall out with the Bethesda Pack. graphics are good, but they're not that great. So, I mean, they're just standard Fallout 4. All right, so now let's switch over. So we'll go ahead and quit. Go back to main menu. And there's our first test. Okay. So now let's go ahead and quit the game. And we're back to Vortex. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up GOG. And I'm going to go to my Fallout 4 installation. Oops, didn't want to do that. Want to go back. Right click on it and click Manage Installation. And then we're going to go ahead and configure. So we're going to go ahead and activate the high resolution texture pack, which is supposed to improve the graphics dramatically. Okay, so that's going to go ahead and install, and while it does that, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break, and I will stop this and come back to it once this install is done. Okay, so now we have the Bethesda Pack loaded, and we're ready to check out the Bethesda Pack only. Nothing else is loaded but Bethesda graphics updates. So we're going to go ahead and check out how this plays, and we're going to time this. So let's bring up our timer. How long does it take me to get outside of, not the vault, but a basement in Sanctuary to the outside world from start? Ready? Here we go. And okay, so we hit play. Okay, so right now see, it pops right back up. Better than I thought. Excellent. Okay, so we're in. Now supposedly this has been improved so that it loads faster, so I can confirm that. And let's load from this basement again. Completely clean. All right, so how long does it take me to get outside of this basement and look around? So we're going from an interior load to an exterior load. Okay, that was quick. Okay, you can see the graphics have improved quite a bit. Okay, this is always the real test, because this right here can just crawl. If you have too much graphics loaded and your processor can't handle it, I've had loading screens of up to 5 minutes. And let's see, this is the big test. Hey, it's looking pretty good so far. So let's switch over to stopwatch. And a little under 2 minutes probably. So did it add a lot? Right now I would say it added about 30 seconds to our load. Okay, so 30 seconds is about a 30% decrease in performance. So it's a little bit slower, but it's not unbearable. So before, when we had nothing loaded, it was 1.27 seconds, and now we're at 2 minutes on the dot. Okay? So let's go back to Fallout and see what our graphics look like. Sky looks way nicer. I can tell a little bit of difference, but not much of a difference here. Do I think this is a massive improvement? It's an improvement, but it does not blow my mind. All right, so next, it's a good improvement, but is it worth the 60 gigs? I don't know. But you can see here the sky looks a lot prettier. Textures look a lot better. I can definitely see why some people like having this loaded. I'm going to go ahead and pause here and load up the next one, which is Vivid All-in-One. Okay, this is Old Gaming Guru. All right, let's try our third test, which is the Vivid Graphics Pack. It's the all-in-one installer. So this is highly touted as being good and much more optimized than the Bethesda Pack. And so let's give that a try. So we're going to go ahead and switch over here to Vortex, my mod manager. And to do two things, I believe we have to have F4 SE installed. That's the script extender. You should definitely install this if you're going to mod. Really quickly, let's enable that. Okay, it's done. Now it's going to get deployed. That shouldn't take long. It doesn't. Okay, now let's go ahead and look for Vivid. And they've got a bunch of add-on mods too. This supposedly is the best overall. NAC is also highly regarded. NAC, which is natural atmospheric conditions. We'll try that one. And there's a couple other ones too, but I'm going to go ahead for the sake of this video, keep it short, just try the big four here, or three. All right, so let's do the all-in-one. Let's enable it. Okay. All right, so it's deploying. It says my plugins here. Okay, it's deployed. That was quick. And that's what's nice about this is if you've already installed, even when you do a fresh install, redeploying, whoops, and it also deployed that one. That's one we want to take a look at probably next series. Borealis, which is also supposed to be really good for natural environments, but we're not looking at this one. We're looking at Vivid Fallout. So the only two that I should have in my mods that are enabled are F4 in Vivid. Okay, don't know why I did that. Disabled. Okay, those are the two that we're going to test here. So F4 SE with Vivid Fallout. So now let's go ahead and use the launcher. And we're going to launch. Let's jump over to our stop clock. Clear it, and now test it. Okay, still very fast load time. Now let's see if it struggles at all once we get into game. That was really quick. Okay, let's load from the basement again. And do an interior location to an exterior location. That should be the biggest tax on your card. Unless you've got a really big interior. Okay, look around, graphics look good. Let's leave the bunker. And there we go. Okay, so let's look at the capabilities here in just a second. First, let's go to our stop clock. Wow, that actually performed faster than the base game. Okay, that's pretty cool. Now let's see what kind of improvements that added to our graphics here. Okay, not seeing as much texturing. No, it's still just as good. Rust looks realistic. Sky's lit up. Really, really, really nice. And it's fast. All right. So I think right now we got our leader. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and stop here. And then we're going to go ahead and continue with one more, which is NAC. Next, we're going to test NAC. All right, so just by itself, see what it runs like and what it looks like and how much it slows down our performance. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is remember we had something else enabled, so let's just look at enabled and let's turn off Vivid. Okay, so we just have script extender running. Let's get rid of that. Let's go to NAC, and I believe I've got Legacy Edition. I do. All right, let's go ahead and enable that. and it's deploying. And it's got a problem. I've got to enable these. So this works a lot more on lighting and natural conditions. So I always want to check out and see what this does here. It's one that's very, very popular with players. So let's just see how much it decreases in performance and improves graphics. All right, so we got this up and running. And now we're going to go ahead and start the game. Turn on our stop clock. Okay, quick screen load. Let's load from the basement. Oh, where'd my basement go? Oh, I hate when Fallout does this. It actually, did it knock my save out? Okay, it did. So it actually knocked out my previous save. Very irritating. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and load this game. And we're going to give these guys a couple extra seconds off their time here. And we're not loading into an interior. But let's just see how long it takes us to get into the base game. Okay, once again, really quick. You can see it's now in. And by the way, you can see a complete difference in our environments. One of the reasons why I chose to use this. And let's look at the time. Okay, performs just as well as the other ones. Maybe even a little bit better than the Bethesda Pack. Let's go to an interior and just see how fast this is. But if you want real world lighting, solid graphics, and you want to feel like it's a little bit more natural, it'll have storms and everything else based on where you're at in the world. It'll have much darker lighting. Your interiors will be, if they're not lit, will be a lot darker. But if you want that real feel, NAC is the way to go, because it mimics real life. Okay, so we're back outside. And boy, was that dark. So you can see here, looks a lot. Okay. And textures are a little bit less. Yeah, just a little bit less, but it could be the dark too. But there you have it. Those are the big 3 graphics add-ons for Fallout 4. If there's any I missed, let me know. I'm going to try some more lesser known ones over the next couple weeks. But as you can see here, all of them add a bunch more punch, and they don't really, other than the Bethesda Pack, which has probably 30% less performance, so it's going to drag on your system a little bit. On a 2070, it gave me an extra 30 seconds out of two minutes to load to my initial screen, but none of them really seem to drag on my performance too much right now. But we'll try layering in some other things and see what that does. But that's it for this part of this video series. I hope you found this useful. If you liked it, like, subscribe, and hey, talk to me. Tell me other things that I'm missing. Tell me things I can do to improve my videos. I make these for you guys. It's things that I find interesting that I hope you find interesting as well. But that's it for right now for part 1 on graphics choices for your Fallout 4 game.